Welcome to Madrid Reviews. This is your host, Christian Madrid, and on today's video, we're going to be talking about my top 10 favorite movies of 2025 so far. Let's get to the list now, yo. Alright, y'all, let's get into this. So, 2025 is halfway done, so I thought I would share with you guys my favorite films of the year so far. These are my 10 favorites, and a few honorable mentions before I get to it. Mission Impossible, Final Reckoning, Final Destination, Bloodlines, Thunderbolts, Materialists, The Amateur, and The Accountant 2. And, this year's been okay for movies so far. It hasn't been the best, but it hasn't been the worst. Just been okay. But there has been some really good films. So, at number 10, How to Train Your Dragon live action. I'm not a big fan of these live action remakes, but this one, I think it's one of the best or the best live action remake I've seen of an animated film. It really translates really well to live action, and the spectacle was just spectacular to see. At number 9, I'm gonna go with The Surfer. I'll see Nicolas Cage in anything, and he did not disappoint with The Surfer. This movie, is a great psychological thriller drama. It's weird as shit, and that's what I like in my movies, especially if you got Nicolas Cage in them. At number 8, I got 28 Years Later. I love 28 Days Later. Great horror film, and 28 Years Later is just as good, not better, but it's really good, and it justifies its existence. At number 7, I got Mickey 17. This is Bong Joon-ho's first movie since the Best Picture winning New York Times #1 film of the 21st century, even though I disagree, Parasite. But Mickey 17 was a great movie. Robert Pattinson playing, multiple Robert Pattinsons in the movie, and I thought it was brilliant and a great original sci-fi drama. At number 6, I got Warfare. This was one of the best war films I've seen in years. It looked very realistic. It's a very intense film. I love Warfare. At number 5, I got Bring Her Back. This is one of the scariest movies I think I've ever seen. This movie is creepy. It's terrifying. I love, the Raka Raka, bros, their first film, Talk to Me. And I think I like this one a little better, Bring Her Back. It was scary. At number 4, I got The Monkey. This is based on a Stephen King short. I really love this film. It mixes, Stephen King with that Final Destination kind of concept, and, I loved it. At number 3, I got F1. This is the crowd-pleasing sports film of the year. I just saw this recently. Brad Pitt, outstanding performance. I love the race car scenes. They were tremendous in this film. At number 2, I got Ballerina. This is from the world of John Wick, and, it's not as good as a John Wick movie, but still, it's phenomenal, and I think Ballerina, that character justifies her existence. She was a great character, and she can go toe-to-toe with John Wick. Can't beat John Wick, but, just as good, and Ana de Armas is fucking hot. At number 1, my favorite movie of the year, and it's not even close, Sinners. Sinners was just a movie experience within itself. This movie was so good. Michael B. Jordan, phenomenal performance, probably the best performance of his career. This movie, I think when a decade's all said and done, this is going to be top 10, 20 for me. Sinners was amazing. The story, great and original. It had it all. It had drama, it had action, it had comedy, suspense. It had it all in Sinners, and that's why it is my favorite film of 2025 so far. Alright, y'all, so that is the end of the video. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment on whether you have seen these movies or if you haven't. And if you have, let me know your thoughts. What is your favorite movie of 2025 so far? And please hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to Madrid Reviews. What's coming up on the channel. Squid Game Season 3 review. My most anticipated movies for the rest of the year. And Jurassic World Rebirth review. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to watch me talk about movies. Thank you. Bye-bye.